Hi Stampers, this is Kim with Great Inspirations. I want to wish you all a very happy 2023. It's been over a month since I've made a video or done a blog post, and the reason for that is I managed to get the flu. And after the flu, I had a cough that hung on for about 3 weeks, which meant I had to postpone a planned surgical procedure. So after Christmas, I was able to have the procedure, and I'm doing great right now, and I am very happy to be back in my craft room creating cards, doing my blog post, and making these videos. Just want to thank you for joining me. And as many of you know, the Stampin' Up! January through April 2023 mini catalog is now live, and it is full of so many great products. I'll show you the catalog. Here it is right here. It's a very pretty cover. And as I said, it's just full of all kinds of great stamps and papers and embellishments, dies, just everything you might be able to imagine that you would need to make beautiful cards and other paper crafting products. Now also, during January and February, we are in Celebration. Now, for those of you not familiar with Celebration, during this time, when you place an order of $50, there are items in this Celebration brochure that you may choose for free with every $50 purchase. There are also some items in this catalog that require a $100 purchase, and then you can get that item for absolutely free. And there's just a little look in here. There's some designer series paper right here. That's really pretty. And we have some more really pretty designer series paper. And there's some really cute stamp sets. Here's the little adorable owls. And then here's the Thanks a Bunch, which has some carrot images. And I was thinking, wow, that's great for a thank you card, but how cute would that be to do something with them for Easter? So there's quite a lot to choose from in this Celebration brochure. And this year's Celebration, it runs from 5 January through the 28th of February. But what I want to talk about today is some designer series papers that you can find in this new mini catalog. And one of them is called Country Gingham. As you can see, there's all kinds of gingham patterns. And the other one is called Regency Park. Now both of these papers, here's the Regency Park. Those are cool designs. Each of these papers are 6 by 6. And individually they're great, but I have found that they work really well together. And that's why I've made these cards using the Country Gingham and the Regency Park Designer Series paper. And I will show you each of the designs. Here's this one. And I don't know if you can see on the camera, but there is a bit of a denim look to this paper. And as you can see, I've used this right here on this card. Here's another design. Nice stripes. Again, a very much of a denim feel. Another design. And again, if you look, especially in the green leaves, there looks like a denim texture. And here's some crushed curry. Oh, actually, I think that's Mango Melody, come to think of it. Little balmy blue. And again, I keep talking about the denim texture, but it is definitely in there. This is some sweet sorbet with pale papaya. Or, no, that's not pale papaya. That is petal pink. More petal pink. go, more balmy blue. This is really great. It's a caning pattern, like you would have caning on the seat of a chair. And there's also an embossing folder. Let me get that real quick. Here's the embossing folder. And this is the design it puts on the paper. It's called Cane Weave. And that's the design that is on this designer series paper as well. More floral prints, again with the little denim look to the paper. Just some plain night of navy with a bit of a denim look. More florals. A few little dots. I really like that. I think this would be nice for guy cards. And this is this paper. A lot of them, they sort of begin to look alike after a minute or two. These stripes are really nice. I thought that would make a nice male card for men. Some more of the Sweet Sorbet. More of the petal pink with the caning pattern. More florals. And this pattern again that I really actually do like. And another with some denim look and feel to it. And then some Mango Melody. Now that was the Regency Park Designer Series papers. And now here are the Country Gingham. This is a Sweet Sorbet. A nice little gingham. And this is Mint Macaron. More Sweet Sorbet. Balmy Blue. A smaller pattern. Mint Macaron. The Sweet Sorbet. Petal Pink. A bit bigger pattern in the Balmy Blue. Mint Macaron. This is the Petal Pink, and it has a little bit of Sweet Sorbet running through it. More Petal Pink. And more Balmy Blue. So those are the Designer Series papers that I used. I just thought both of those packages of paper went really well together to create cards because they do have some of the same colors in them. And the other thing I liked from the catalog was this ribbon right here. It's a Night of Navy, and it's bordered ribbon. And I just thought it also had kind of a look of denim. I love denim. I always will. I've always wear jeans. So there's that. And I have used that on these cards. And then another thing were these embellishments. I really like them because they were just simple. And they do come in 3 colors. They're called Enamel Dots Essentials. They come in white, crumb cake, and the Night of Navy. As you can see, I've used the Night of Navy on these 3 cards. And then for the sentiment, I used the framed florets stamp set right here, which is for a beautiful birthday. You're like, oh, I've seen this before, and you have. Stampin' Up! Released this as an early release from the January through April mini catalog. So it was out in December, so many of you may have it. But I just liked the wishes for a beautiful birthday for these specific cards. Now, as you can see, these cards, I've used 2 pieces of Designer Series paper, and one is from the Country Gingham and the other is from Regency Park. And I'm going to just show you how there are many ways to get these 2 pieces of paper on your card base evenly, but I'm going to show you one way that I do it that for me is the easiest. I used to take a piece of cardstock because this measures 4 by 5 1/4, and I would take a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 cardstock and line everything up, and one of my pieces would be a little bit longer than the other one and match, and you know, I would get it ready to put on my card. That took a lot of work. So I thought, how can I do this differently? So what I did, I took this piece of Designer Series paper and this piece, and I put them together, just line them up, easy peasy, on my trimmer. I'll show you here. Let's just take these two. I just lined them up like this, put them in my trimmer, cut them at 4 by 5 1/4. I put them back in the trimmer, and you know, I have smaller pieces, and I cut at 2 1/4. You don't have to remember these measurements, they'll be on my blog. And then I had 2 pieces of paper that were 4 by 2 1/4 and 2 pieces that were 4 by 3 inches. And that gave me my 4 by 5 1/4 dimension I needed to put on my card front. So I'll show you what I did. I'm going to get my silicone craft sheet, and right here I have my card base, and of course the card base is 11 by 4 1/4, scored and folded at 5 1/2, and I have put a piece of white cardstock in here that measures 3 3/4 by 5, and then here are my pieces of Designer Series paper I told you about, that when together they will measure 4 by 5 1/4. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn them over. Now I'm going to, let's see, this is going to be the opposite of this card. So this is going to be the top and this is going to be the bottom. I'm going to flip it over, get both of the designs right where they belong, abutted right up against one another. I'm going to take some tape, just regular tape, and I'm very carefully going to tape right across here at one end, then right across here at one end. And now I have something I can work with. Now the next thing, see, we're going to be able to put adhesive on the back of it, and there it'll be, our 4 by 5 1/4. And that was, to me, it was very easy, a lot easier than some of the other things that I have done in the past. So now I want to get this ribbon on here, and I need to get the ribbon on first. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this piece of ribbon right here, and it just needs to be a little over 4 inches. You can have it at 4 1/2, 4 1/4, whatever's most comfortable for you. I don't know. I think this is probably, it's about 5 inches long, and that's okay. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take some adhesive. We're just going to put some adhesive right here, and it will go right over the tape. It's fine. And I'm just going to take one end. I'm going to try to center between this design and this design. Pull this over. Make sure I've got it kind of even. Yep. Push down. There we go. There's our ribbon. Now, if you wanted to, you could put it down lower or up higher. It depends on what you want, the look that you want. But I think this will be good. And so now we're ready to put more adhesive on this paper. Everything is sticking. We put this on our card. Line it up real nicely. And then as you can see, I have a greeting. So we'll put, here's our greeting. wishes for a beautiful birthday. Of course, that's stamped in Night of Navy on basic white, and then we have a border of Night of Navy. And these were die cut using the stylish shapes dies, the squares, and that's the second and third largest. So we're going to get some dimensionals because I do love dimensionals. Let's see there, that should be good. Get our card base down here. And then it's just a matter of deciding where you want it. I'm going to put this right about here. The good thing about this little check pattern is you can kind of line it up perfectly. And now I'm going to add this bow. And all I need is a piece of the ribbon. And again, this is about 5.5 inches long. And yeah, you want kind of make sure you have enough because you're going to just basically tie a knot. There we go. And we're going to take some scissors, trim things up a bit. There we go, super simple. But now we need some embellishments. So I've used these enamel dots, and I'm going to use the Night of Navy, but instead of putting them up here, I'm going to put them down here on the mint macaron. So we'll take one of the larger ones. These do, as you can see, come in 3 sizes. And maybe we'll put him over here, get him middle-sized, and then we'll get one of the little tiny ones and maybe put there. There we go. That's how easy it was to make that card. Now, some of you may have noticed the ribbon on this card is a little bit different, and that is super simple to do, even easier than this. So I have a card here that I have made. Just doesn't have the ribbon on it. Here it is. It's sort of the opposite of this one, but we are going to put this bow on it. And all I did was I made a bow. And now we're going to take a glue dot, if I can find one, on here. And here, let me get my take your pick tool. I like to use my take your pick tool with the paper piercing attachment to put my glue dots on. Just put it right on the back here. Just line that right up against the greeting, and there we go. Super simple. So there you have it, just with using some designer series paper and, you know, a couple packs of it and some ribbon with just one greeting. You can make beautiful cards quick and easily, and then send these off to all of your friends who will be celebrating birthdays soon. So thank you so much for joining me. I want to remind you, in the description of this video there will be a link to my blog post, and it will have all the supplies and measurements for these cards. Until next time, stamp happy!